My name is Mark. I'm a journalist who seeks out forgotten stories. 30 years ago, an unsolvable case occurred in this city. A man named Thomas, a talented architect, disappeared without a trace. The police closed the investigation. His partner's family moved away. Everyone forgot. But I couldn't forget. 3 months ago, I found an old notebook belonging to a friend of Thomas's. Inside was an address and 3 words: the dark room. What I discovered next will make me question everything I've ever known. Thomas was an ordinary man. In 1985, he was 32 years old, had a good job, and a happy family. But he had a secret. According to notes I found from old interviews, Thomas frequently visited an abandoned building on the west side of the city. He told his wife he was working on a secret project, an architectural design for a mysterious figure. His wife, Lily, never asked questions. She trusted her husband. But in November 1987, everything changed. Thomas began acting strangely. He purchased odd items: red lamps, various locks and keys, black paint, history books. One day, Lily decided to follow him. Lily followed Thomas to the old building. This building was known as the Herschel Building, named after a German businessman who owned it in the 1930s. During the war, the building was abandoned. Everyone said it was cursed. 17 people who lived there died mysteriously within 5 years. But Lily didn't believe in ghost stories. She followed Thomas inside, through the cold drafts, past the crumbling walls, up the pitch black staircases, until Thomas stopped in front of a door Lily had never seen before. Thomas opened it. Inside was a pitch-dark room. No windows, no light, only a faint red glow from old bulbs, and things that Lily couldn't see clearly, but she could hear them. A small sound, repeating, like a beating heart. Lily asked,
Thomas, what is this?
Thomas said nothing. He just stood in silence. After a few seconds, he spoke.
I can't explain, but you must not tell anyone about this room.
Lily was terrified. She left the room. She left the building. She left Thomas's life. A week later, Thomas disappeared. I began my investigation. Lily, now 75 years old, is still alive. I found her at a nursing home in another city. When I asked her about Thomas, she cried.
He was working on something I never understood. But he said it was important, very important.
The dark room, what was it? Lily was silent for a long time. Then she said,
I don't know, but I heard the thumping, like a heart. My memory, after all these years, I still hear that sound.
I continued my search through the old police records. The files stated that Thomas fled, no traces, no body, no evidence. But there was one strange thing. In the files, there was a note from a young officer named Arthur.
The note read,
I entered the Herschel building. I heard strange sounds from the third floor. I wanted to investigate further, but my superiors stopped the investigation. Why? I tracked down Arthur. He is now 70 years old, a retired police officer. When I questioned him, he was frightened.
You shouldn't ask about that. There are things you aren't meant to know. When I entered the Herschel building, I heard the sound, just as you described, like a heart. I followed the sound. It led me to the dark room. I opened the door. Inside I saw a man. It seemed to be Thomas, sitting in the middle of the room. He opened his eyes and looked at me, but he didn't say anything. He just sat there, like a statue. I asked Thomas, "Are you okay?" But he didn't answer. He just stared at me. Then I realized that this room, It was alive. The walls felt like they had a pulse. The red light seemed to breathe. And Thomas was a part of it.
What do you mean? It was alive?
I don't know. But I am certain that room was not normal. When I left, I felt like I had left a piece of my soul behind. I told the chief. He told me. He said I should forget everything, or I would die. His exact words were, "If you uncover the truth, you will meet the same fate as Thomas."
I made my decision. I would enter the dark room. I shouldn't have. But I had to know the truth. I entered the Herschel building on a dark night. I walked past the old walls. I climbed the narrow stairs. I reached the 3rd floor, and I found the door, just as Arthur described, just as Lily described. I opened the door. Inside was a room. But not an ordinary room. The walls were red, not painted red, but like a living entity, warm like raw flesh. Red bulbs hung from the ceiling. They didn't just glow, they pulsed. And in the center of the room, sitting on a chair, was a man. It was Thomas. But it wasn't Thomas. He had changed. His eyes were hollow. His body, it seemed as though it was part of the room itself. As if the room had absorbed him. I asked, "Thomas." He opened his mouth. His voice did not sound human. It sounded like wind whistling through cracks in stone.
"You shouldn't be here."
"Who are you?"
You aren't Thomas.
He opened his mouth.
I left the room. I ran. I never looked back. That was last month. Since then, I haven't been able to sleep. Because every night, I hear it. That thumping like a heartbeat. The sound calling me to go back. The dark room
Because
in the
every
Herschel
night,
building is still there.
I hear
And
it.
Thomas, or whatever Thomas has become, it is still waiting. I don't know how many people have entered that room over the years. I don't know what it is or where it came from. But I know one thing. If you hear a thumping, the sound of a heart that isn't human, you must not follow it. Because it will lead you to a place you can never leave. And you will become a part of it. That is my story. A true story. Or at least, that is what I believe. If you have ever heard of the dark room in this city, please contact me. I need to know I'm not the only one who has heard it.
And you will become a part of it.
This is Agent Smith. I've reached the rendezvous point. The package is secure, awaiting extraction at 0600.
Thank you for listening. If you like mysterious stories like this, please subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now, try not to hear that sound when you go to bed.